We're here. It was chaos at Kansas. Thank you, Spencer. From T's and P's up to Aaron Rodgers. Wessel's got the jersey on. Was an unfortunate debut for Aaron Rodgers of the Jets last night. I had the jersey as well. Decided to change back into what I got going on today. But we're here. It was after Kansas, a really good race in my opinion. And I'm joined by the crew that I like to be here with. Sally's here. How we doing, Sal?
Good.
That Jones boy is here in his Pat McAfee tank top. How are you?
I'm doing.
You're doing?
As
yeah.
Wessel
And
puts
Wessel's
it, yeah.
He just stole my line.
You damn right,
did.
bitch.
Stole my line. What are you doing?
Stole Pat McAfee's gimmick, attire-wise, in Wessel's line. Wow. How we doing though, Wessel?
We're doing.
Okay. We had a race at Kansas. Actually, it was an interesting race considering I don't know really if there was a dominant car. You had Larson lead a lot early. Then you had Chase Elliott get out front for a little while, kind of in the midsection of the race. Then Denny Hamlin got out front and kind of ran away with it. I guess you could say maybe he was dominant. I think the 11 and the 5 were probably the two best. What?
You would say that.
Say what?
The Chase Elliott was the most dominant car.
I didn't say that.
You said him in the 5 because the 5 was clearly better than so much better.
No,
than
I was saying Denny Hamlin was. I was talking about Denny. I wasn't talking about Chase Elliott. He got lucky. He didn't pull away at all. Granted, he wasn't a different strategy tire-wise and actually did a pretty good job holding on, in my opinion, whenever he had the lead. But I do think Denny Hamlin probably had the best car, I think.
I think Denny Hamlin's had the best car the last 2 weeks. I think Denny Hamlin is a low-key favorite now.
Yeah, especially considering what happened to Martin Truex Jr., which we will get into in a little bit. But late race restart happens. What was the caution again? It was something stupid, I think, right?
17, wasn't it? It wasn't stupid.
Oh, right. No, yeah, 17. Yeah, he got on the wall. That is actually
it took a little long time to pull it out, but I mean, they finally got it out.
I thought they were going to let it run out. I didn't think they were going to call it with how long they waited, but they ended up calling it. Excuse me. Late race restart. Hamlin, Larson, and Elliott, the three guys that I had mentioned leading laps before, all kind of hung back on the restart. Tyler Reddick did not. He went right in there, took those motherfuckers 3 wide, and he won the race. The 45 car has won 3 out of 4 at Kansas since it has been in existence. So that 45 at Kansas is on a run.
3 different drivers, which is also kind of wild.
Makes it really odd.
Yeah.
And
one of the
Toyota,
more obscure stats in NASCAR history.
Yeah. Toyota undefeated at Kansas in the next-gen car in the 4 races. We'll go around the horn here. What are our thoughts on Kansas as a race kind of in total? And what are our thoughts on Tyler Reddick picking up the win to lock him into the round of 12? We'll start with Sal. We'll go Tegan, then Wessel.
It was a good race overall. You get your playoff drama thrown in there as well, getting guys like Bubba, McDowell.
That's huge. That was huge.
That was really big because Bubba was in for a big day.
Yeah.
You get that. Then McDowell, Stenhouse, kind of non-factors. Then obviously the Truex stuff as well. And I mean, Denny said it himself. I don't know if it was like talking to Bob after the race or in his post-race interview with NBC where he was too focused on what Larson was doing behind him. It basically screwed himself from having a shot at it whatsoever. And I mean, that kind of driving by Reddick to do there, send it 3 wide right away. I mean, shouldn't have shocked anyone. He's been known to be one of the most aggressive drivers, especially in the old gen where he was I feel like he had a lot of moments where he was either wrecking himself or doing really good to save a good run.
Yeah. Tegan?
I mean, aside from the late race yellow with the late race restart, the race wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. I mean, I was just watching it, so. And also aside from the playoff drivers that we had have issues, which was what Truex, the
Wallace,
17,
Busher.
Bubba. I don't even remember what happened to McDowell. Did he just run like shit, or did he have issues? I don't remember.
He went
He just
off
ran bad.
strategy.
Oh, that's right. It went long. Yes, I feel like
Yeah,
that's
he
bits
went-
and twice this year now. So
Yeah, I mean, but they're in a situation where
you
points
kind of
they
have
weren't
to,
going to
though.
do anything.
Especially with a
Yeah.
team like that on like a Michael McDowell team is not going to be running.
I feel like though
mile and a half.
they were doing good before the playoffs started. Like they really either put all their
Not on
eggs in a
tracks like that
basket.
though.
They don't. They just
They
don't
were
have the
doing
speed
decent.
for mile and a half.
Because Michigan, they were way off at, and that's.
I
kind
feel like a
know
lot of
it's
these teams
bigger,
have brought
but-
their A game and they don't have nothing to bring. That's what it feels
No.
like. Everybody has stepped up. Like even
This was
the
a
ones that were kind
really
of
bad
struggling.
round for McDowell, just based
Yeah.
on tracks. There's no road
track-wise,
courses.
yeah.
One short track.
Which
Like, it
isn't really
was-
one that he's ever. Do we
Which
really think
isn't-
of him as a short track guy though?
No, and I mean they said it themselves whenever they were showing or talking on the radios pre-race. They said they had to win this track because they knew they weren't going to have anything good for Bristol.
Right.
And they're not going to win here. I mean,
No.
your car's just not fast enough.
No, I mean, Fords are struggling at these tracks anyway, even the ones that are doing good. I mean,
Blaney
Keselowski
ran pretty
got
strong
fast for the
yesterday.
lead
Keselowski
and literally
was
got on the
really
radio,
good,
got on the radio and said, "I can't do nothing else." I mean,
I kind of wonder
Keselowski
if
showed it.
I kind of wonder if maybe the 12 team has kind of been holding some stuff back because we got into the playoffs and now like they're showing shit that we haven't seen since like the Coke 600.
And they
It's
started
like,
off.
they're not,
pretty
and it's
well. I
not
mean,
like it's not like they're showing winning speed, like because they're not, but they're showing like consistently inside the top 10 now. I don't know what's wrong with the 22. He was way off. He was
but
bad
you got to
yesterday.
give him credit. They stole
Good-
a lot
good
of
pit
spots
strategy.
on that last
Yeah.
restart.
Yeah.
Paul Wolf, you say what you want about him as like a crew chief setup wise. That guy always seems like he's on the right side of the strategy game.
Oh yeah.
So that's massive though. Like people don't understand how big that is. Joey Logano gained 10 points because of that 2-tire call.
He was on the cut line, and then now
And
he's
now
12
he's
above it.
above it.
Yeah,
And now he's got
12
somebody
good.
in between him and the cut line. So
Mhm.
you know that's a pretty good situation for Logano right now. Better than it looked because it looked like it was going to be him and Truex probably going into there tied or around there. Wessel, your thoughts on the race? I know Tegan, you're not a huge fan of the race. I think Kansas has been awesome in the next gen car. I really have enjoyed most of the races.
Kansas and Charlotte have been probably the best tracks from the next gen era.
Yeah, because this race was awesome.
I think it was a good race. Probably not like I would say out of the 4 next gen Kansas races we've seen, probably 4th ranking. I mean, the other 3 were
either
really good races.
this one or the Bubba win one. The
Bubba
Bubba one was cool. It
yeah.
was a good race, but I think it wasn't as good as the Kurt and Kyle Larson battle in the spring of 2022, and it definitely wasn't as good as the spring race this year, which was nuts. Probably one of the best races of the year.
That race had everything. Wasn't there a fight in that race? Who fought? I can't remember.
Chastain and Noah.
Chastain and Noah. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P. Noah.
Yeah. Well, he
Hey,
got reinstated.
reinstated.
He got reinstated
He
today.
got reinstated.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna fucking sign him except for maybe Rackley
Wow.
War.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that who's gonna sign him?
That's a rumor going around.
Rackley
We'll talk
War?
about that in a little bit.
But no, I thought the race was all right. It's just NFL Sunday. I was flipping back and forth between football and the race and stuff. But no, it was okay. I mean,
yeah,
it was all right.
We Tegan and I talked about this in a PlayStation party earlier today. I think
What's the
I know
ratings going to be?
Ratings were not good. 1.7 million, down 6% from
football.
last year. I understand the racing would be worse at night. I get that, but I don't know if NASCAR has any business going head to head with opening week in NFL.
NFL.
That does not make sense. That's not smart because even like hardcore NASCAR fans want to check in on the NFL.
I mean, I was
week.
flipping back and forth the whole time.
Yeah. Luckily, the games
until like about 20. Yeah, I didn't have very many good games.
I had bad games, and my grandparents, they don't have red zone, so it was either watch the Niners blow out Pittsburgh or watch a mid-off between the Bengals and the Browns, and I was not here for either of those.
I didn't even have those two games. I had the Seahawks, not the Seahawks. Fuck, I had the Titans and the Saints, which was actually a pretty good game, even though it was also a mid-off. And then I had the Falcons, and who did they play?
The
Carolina.
Falcons
played.
Panthers.
Carolina.
Panthers, yeah.
Traitor. The Panthers.
But those are just, I mean, I don't give a fuck about the Panthers. I know I live around, or not the Panthers, the Falcons. I know I live around Atlanta, but I don't give a fuck about the Atlanta Falcons. It's just, yeah.
Is this you, Sal?
No, I saw that right now too.
That bars, I guess. Shout out to Sal Spitz.
Okay.
Yeah, free pub
What?
for that guy, I guess. That was odd. So yeah, Reddick wins. That's big for him, I think. I think they've been showing speed, that 45 team, the last few weeks. They've actually, I know Matt was, this guy, we call him crazy a lot. Matt cooks sometimes with his takes. I can't lie. So Matt said Reddick is going to be the champion this year, and I'm not there yet, but he has had some, I think, top level cards the last couple of weeks. So you go back to Richmond, that 45 was really good. Michigan was in play for the win there. Of course, always kind of in play at the road courses, and then come to Darlington, had a winning car, and kind of ended up, boning himself. But
Wayo.
yes,
Bones.
and then Bones, shout out, and then this week won. So shout out to Reddick. Regular season champion Martin Truex Jr.
He's in trouble.
Had big
A
trouble.
lot of tire
I'd say.
issues in this race. A lot of tire issues.
I don't know. His was odd because it was just a puncture.
He had
They
a,
ran
yeah,
over
he had a
something.
puncture, but Bubba had
Basically
a
on
right
the
rear
face
go down,
lap.
and I think somebody else had a right rear go down at some point.
You could tell.
Remember, right
immediately that his
rear-
car was off.
If you hear the drivers on the radio, they're being told to take care of the right rear, so they're told not to go full throttle through the corners because they can.
Yeah.
That's where the right rear comes in. So that's the same issue we had at Texas last year, if you remember. As they were going too fast through the corners, it was causing them to blow the right rear. So that seems like to be an issue again at Kansas. So now they're expecting these drivers to back off the throttle. So
I don't mind that. I mean, it gives a sense of risk or reward. Do you want to go for it and have a tire problem because of it, or do you want to back off and take the run as it goes? I think that's a good thing. I don't think the tire blowouts are what we want. I think we want more wear and fall off than just flat out blowouts and wrecked cars. I think wish we could find a fine line in between that, where if you do push hard, there's a punishment, but maybe it's not that. But I came prepared for this week with some stats.
What's the stat?
Martin Truex Jr. below the cut line right now. I think, what is it, 7 points to Harvick?
yeah,
He's heading to Bristol. And this could be the worst track for Martin Truex Jr. to go to. Since February 20, this is for, all these stats that I got and marked down today are via Driver Averages, which is a great website. If you're looking at, details about certain drivers at certain tracks. Excluding the Chicago street course, since February 2020, Bristol Concrete is his worst average finish of any track. He has only one top 10 in the 4 starts since February 2020 there. Which you think, one top 10, 4 starts, not terrible. But you think of Martin Truex Jr., he should be doing better than that. His average finish is 21st in those 4 races, only 2 times being in the top 20. And you go through his career starts, he has 32 starts at Bristol, only 4 career top 10s. And you would expect Martin Truex Jr., who has been a force in NASCAR for almost 9 years now, really, since 2015. That Truex has been a championship contender every year, really, since then. Only 4 career top 10s at Bristol on 32 starts. The only tracks that he has a worst average finish at are Daytona, Talladega, Indy, and the Chicago street course all time. So really, really bad sign for the regular season champion. Do we think Truex gets eliminated here? I provided all the stats to tell you that I think he will. I don't know if I think he will. I think that maybe they could find a way because it is Truex. He was the regular season champion. They've had speed all year. But we'll go around the horn here. Do we think Truex goes out at Bristol?
Yes.
Yes. Any reason why or what I said?
I mean, what you said, and I mean, I just until now that you brought all that up, like I'm trying to think, and it's like, yeah, like you've never heard of Truex doing really anything at Bristol, and especially depending on like how qualifying goes, because that's clearly what this race is going to come down to.
Yeah, seems like it's going to be a track position affair.
I mean, Bristol has been the next gen car. It's just hasn't been good.
We only had one race there.
We've only had one race off on concrete, so it's
and they are trying a new right side tire to.
But we're running the same package as last year. We have a new short track package, aero package
that is not being ran at Bristol
for this race. Yeah.
Well, Dover, for that matter.
As I said, they are using a new right side tire. Bell, Gibbs, and Chastain tested it there earlier in the year, and hopefully it can incur some more fall off and whatnot. Tegan, do you think Truex goes out? And another thing I didn't add to that, the guys around Truex at the cut line are very good at Bristol. So, I mean, that does not bode well for him.
So who's he got around him? He's got
Harvick behind him.
Harvick. He's got Logano, Harvick.
Joey ahead of him.
Bubba, how far is Bubba back? Like 12, 17?
Yeah.
It's quite a bit.
That's great. I don't know why.
Bubba's he's not great at Bristol. He's kind of around.
Yeah. But, I mean, he wasn't really great at Richmond either and ran well there this year. So,
yeah.
I think Bubba's definitely.
Richmond's got tire fall off, though. So, Bristol, they're short track, but they're totally different.
Bristol could.
Different package, too.
Yep, different package.
Short track package.
So, what we have right now is Truex is 7 behind Harvick at the cut line. Bubba's another 12 behind Truex. That means he's 19 behind Harvick. Truex is 12 behind Logano, 13 behind Buescher and Bell, and 18 behind Chastain.
That's tough, man. Buescher, won here last year. Granted, maybe he didn't really have a very fast car, but track position matters, and they got it and pulled it off.
Yeah.
And Christopher Bell's good at short tracks, good at Bristol.
Very, very good.
Yeah,
I think was the dominant car last year.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I remember him being up front whenever he had his problem.
So,
Harvick also been very good at Bristol throughout his career.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of hard to find a track that Harvick isn't that good at. I mean,
something about Harvick is they got to qualify.
Road course or
good.
Something.
True. Yeah, stage points are going to be massive in this race. I think we all can agree.
Which means you better qualify good.
You got to qualify in the top 10.
Get good pit selection as well.
That is huge at Bristol. This pit selection is another good point. Let's talk about Bubba Wallace a little bit. Was running really second, I felt like, the whole race until he had his tire incident, which is really disappointing for him for that to be how it, I hate to say it, but it seems like he's going to be out.
Honestly, I think had he not had those tire issues at Kansas, I think he would probably be through, honestly, to the round of 12.
He might have won.
He might have. Yeah, he was fast.
Yeah.
I mean, he was early on in the race. He was probably the second fastest car behind Larson. And then Larson faded, but by that time Bubba was already out of it.
Yeah, Larson said, "Hey, we are so much better than everyone right now over the radio," and then fell back to 20th. I found that entertaining.
To be fair, he did get pushed away with fresh tires, so
yeah, but
he was so much better than everyone.
Yeah, there's no worry. But it was a good run for Larson to get back. He took tires only 2 or 3 laps. There's another caution. He only had 2 or 3 lap fresher tires, but kind of came back through the field and ended up being low top 10.
Fresh tires
the final caution came out.
Big this race.
For the first 5 or 10 laps, then they leveled off big time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the Chase Elliott Kyle Larson incident that happened. Larson gets into Elliott on pit road. Seems like it was fueled by Keselowski coming out of his stall. It was kind of
They were
just
4 wide.
It was just a storm of bad
Timing.
like positioning and timing. And then coming out of the pits, Chase Elliott doored Kyle Larson. I really think that a lot of criticism is being thrown at Chase Elliott this week, which fine. I don't. There's no way of him to know that wasn't Larson's fault. Like from his
He
perspective,
had the fucking
There
spotter.
is a way to know, and it's
He had
that's
a
not
fucking
Chase
spotter.
Elliott. That's not Chase Elliott's fault though. If his spotter doesn't tell him that.
No, his spotter is Eddie DeHaan. We know how that fat fuck is. He's probably going there, beat his ass, beat his ass, beat his ass. Just like I beat my wife, beat his ass.
Oh, Jesus, that could.
He's my
He was
bonehead.
found
He's my bonehead.
non-guilty.
He's probably going to be my only bonehead tonight just because he should have been on that radio. Hey, you were 4 wide. He didn't have a choice before you got out there door banging his spin door.
Yeah. And I think it goes along with frustration from Chase. It's been a frustrating year for Chase and that whole team. And then especially considering that Larson kind of took him out in a dirty way of 2 wins last year. I think that Chase's fuse with Larson, even though he is his teammate, is probably shorter than others. Because we go back to Bristol 2 years ago. Chase Elliott handed Kyle Larson a win on a silver platter.
Yep.
And how did Larson repay him for that? Fenced him at Fontana after coming back from a spin and putting him out of the way at Watkins Glen, a race that he dominated. So I understand Chase being a little on edge with Larson. Was he right in that situation? No. But did he have the information that he needed to make the right judgment, though? I don't think so. A lot of people made it a big deal, and it's going to be a big deal when it's 2 of the most popular guys in the sport, teammates going at it. And people in the media like to say things. And
Shocker. I don't think Chase Elliott likes Kyle Larson.
Danielle Trotta said that on her. She had
Not really a shocker.
She had a
Pretty
ridiculously
well known for a couple years.
I
I think this
it's
goes back
too-
before last year.
Yes, I think so too.
I feel like this might go back before Kyle Larson was even on Hendrick Motorsports. I think it goes back a ways.
No. I think it all started at Fontana 2022. Because Chase wouldn't have.
Well, then wouldn't you say that Kyle Larson's living rent free?
I would not say that. No, I would just say that there are some drivers that can tick you
Hold a
off.
grudge?
Yeah, he'll hold a grudge. That's not rent free though. I think I think Chase Elliott is
Rent free would be if Chase Elliott
Well,
is
let's
like, what the
see,
fuck is that 5
Like,
car?
if you're coming out of pit road and you think somebody doors you, common sense would tell you they probably have a good reason. I don't think Kyle Larson's going to do it on purpose. That's living rent free.
No, it isn't. Chase Elliott was in contention for. I think this was Chase Elliott's best chance of winning since he came back, right?
I mean, he wasn't coming out with the fucking lead.
I don't care. I answer my question that I said.
I know it wasn't. I think his
No.
best chance was fucking 2 weeks ago at the road course.
Okay, you have to put it in circumstances of the race. Chase Elliott led more laps in this race than he did all season. He was running up front on the last run of the race. He was actually catching Denny Hamlin on the final stop, on the final green run of the race before that caution. Chase was the fastest car on track. He found something midway through that run that he was running the track better that he hadn't done all day. So he has a chance coming out of the pits to be in a position to win the race. He gets hit, loses. He was going to come out ahead of Larson and Reddick, I think, because of that. If he didn't get hit there, wasn't Larson's fault. I'm totally in agreement about that. But I think you're a little off base. This was his best chance to win, and it's been a frustrating year. It's been a frustrating year for fans of him, for him himself getting injured, and then having the incident with Denny Hamlin and not having the speed that they've had before. It's been a frustrating year. So I really think that you're a little off base, but I think it's all over between them now. I don't see anything else happening unless.
If you think it is over between them now, it ain't over.
Well, I don't think that Chase Elliott or Kyle Larson are going to.
I'm looking for
hit each other.
one good race where Kyle Larson does the most minimum shit to Chase
Or not
Elliott.
even-
It's
or
gonna
not
really
even- or
set
not
him
even, like-
over the edge, and Chase Elliott's just gonna fucking
Or not
raw
even,
dog
like-
his ass right into the wall.
Or like not
That's
even
what
the
I'm
most
waiting on.
minimum shit. Like Kyle Larson can just do what he does to everybody. Just run Chase high. Get him in the fence like he does with literally everybody.
Well,
He's
Chase
done
Elliott
it.
doesn't react well when people do
So that's
that.
not minimum.
That's what I said. I was like, I don't even think it's gonna. It's like gonna take minimum. I think it's.
But we
like,
have to. I mean,
just
Kyle
doing what he already
Larson
does.
races like an asshole. That's. I think it's not talked about enough.
Unless he's racing 40-year-old farmers from Oklahoma.
No, but the thing is like Denny I actually think that Denny Hamlin is a cleaner racer on the regular than Kyle Larson.
I think you're full of shit. Because Denny Hamlin has flat out come out and said this year, I'm racing dirtier because that's how it's what it takes in this car. Kyle Larson hasn't said that.
But he's done
That
it.
makes Denny Hamlin dirtier.
No, it doesn't. Kyle Larson has done things.
Has Kyle Larson done anything this year dirty? Because I think Kyle Larson's had shit done to him a couple times this year by one driver, not the other way around.
I mean, you had the incident with Chase last year. You had the incident with Bubba last year.
I said this year.
Okay, that's fair. But I think that Kyle Larson has raced. There was a race where he put somebody in the fence. I don't remember what exactly it was.
Precept Bristol Dirt.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That was really dirty what he did at Bristol Dirt.
That's how you race dirt. They both should know that.
Ryan Preece is tough. All right, so
Oh my god.
stop. Ryan Preece is tough.
You
No
know,
bullshit.
you know what I think would help this.
What do you think?
I think it's the significance in
The
time,
passage of time.
in the passage of time. Yeah,
Of
I
course.
think the significance of the passage
Really
of time
important.
will help
It's
this.
important. It's significant. Been hearing some chatter about Kentucky lately coming back to the schedule.
Until I
not
hear
really-
some like concrete shit, I ain't gonna even entertain the idea.
Would we like to see it? I think Kentucky wasn't great. I think give it a
Maybe
chance at the next gen.
I think
car,
give it
though.
a chance to the next gen car. Maybe.
I think they should test it. But I just
Test
wonder
it.
what condition that track is in right now.
Clearly in
Hasn't been
enough
kept
condition to where they can have the Rusty Walrus experience. Not Rusty Walrus.
I was about
Rusty
to
Wallace
say.
experience going around there.
Is that what they do there?
Yeah, I actually got like an ad for it on Instagram the other day, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Go to
I
Kentucky
know that
and
they
race
let
at Rusty
Chicagoland
Walls?
go, didn't they?
No, they're keeping
I
Chicago
thought they
actually
did.
in
Have
pretty
they?
good order.
See, now I'd rather see Chicagoland get the
Chicagoland
nod.
come back.
100%.
For
But you're not
sure.
gonna.
That's not
I mean,
gonna happen.
actually, motocross is going to
Yeah,
Chicago.
motocross is there this weekend, I think.
So that'll be cool. Something at the track. That'll be nice. So we'd like to see it back, though. I'd say overall, right?
I want to see some testing done
Yeah. 'Cause
before
it
we
was
like,
not
just
good.
go back.
I don't know. I
It
just
was-
want
Yeah,
to see
that
how
was
the
before
next gen car
Gen
will be
too, though.
People talk about Kentucky like they miss it and everything, but that was
Wasn't
really
good.
only
That
because
was a
like
dog
the
shit
last
track.
was it the last race or like last two
What?
races?
The
We got
last
like
two
the
races,
last-
it had
the
some
last
really
two
good finishes. Yeah.
Because we had
shitty
overtime
races, but
finishes.
really good finishes. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was the bush battle between Kyle and Kurt,
One of my favorite finishers ever.
and then
Yeah.
And
there
then
was
the storm drain.
Cole Custer win whenever Blaney bounced off the storage room. Yeah,
Yeah,
People don't talk about that race being as bad as it actually. Like that race
it was
was
bad
awful.
before
both
that.
of
It
those
got
races
saved
were
by that
really
caution.
bad, but they just had wild finishes.
So I'd be open to seeing what it can do with the next gen car.
I think Chicagoland for sure would put on a banger.
I think Chicagoland will put
Oh,
on a really good race.
100%.
Chicagoland
Yeah,
is very similar.
They
to
left that race too quick, just like they did Auto Club, and they're NASCAR tracks that makes no fucking sense at
Yeah.
all.
Let's talk about some news about the Charlotte Roval. Stage breaks are coming back at the Roval for the cautions. The stage
called it.
cautions.
I would like to believe if we go back to
Did
our
I not
Road Course
either?
podcast, I know for a fact that I called that this was going to happen. You
I'm
have
just gonna
two
say this.
very boring one caution races back to
That
back.
strategy did not change a fucking thing.
And the
Actually, I think it
strategy
made it strategy,
anything. I knew this was coming. I saw this coming from a mile away.
and I don't think it's NASCAR either. I
This
think
doesn't surprise me
drivers
at
and
all.
teams went to NASCAR and said, "Bring it back. This is a playoff race. we want opportunities to either go for the points or go for the win, depending on how the car is handling. Strategy does not change these races.
So I think this is a little bit of a step backwards in my opinion.
Well, you never want to go back on a rule that you made, right? Because that just makes it look like, well, we made a mistake.
Especially not
right?
Change it mid-season as well.
Yes, but I don't think it's a bad change.
I don't think it is either.
I think that they're changing everything. They're looking to change everything other than what the problem is.
But they cannot change that this year.
They can't change that.
I understand that.
Yes.
The problem is the race car.
It is.
It was made to be a road course car, which actually takes away.
But now, to be honest, though, the Robo has had put on some good races, regardless of the car. I think. Although we've had overtime finishes that kind of helped it out a couple of times, but.
So I don't remember the Roval well from last year. I remember that Chase was leading, kind of got boned on a restart.
Harvick was leading it with Bell coming with fresh tires.
But the Gluck pole was awful for it. So I don't remember it being that bad. I don't remember the race. I remember I was not happy with how the restarts went at the end.
AJ got him, remember, and Harvick got AJ.
Yeah.
I picked I was at the race and my friend had my camera. I was too focused on this restart to see Chase hold off and win. And he actually got because he spun right in front of us. He got the exact moment from where he gets touched to where he's spinning around to get correct. It's very sad, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, got to fix the car because they made a car better on road courses. It kind of took away the charm of NASCAR on road courses, in my opinion. So we talked about the Truex thing. We'll discuss. How about we go into the cut line in detail here? We'll pull up the standings here in a second.
You didn't. You asked me, but you didn't. I didn't get the answer if I thought Truex was going out. I don't think Wessel did either.
No. Do you guys think he's going out? Say it.
I would say yes because I think it helps Harvick, but I would not be surprised if they don't put a lot of effort into this race, bouncing off shit off their teammates like Hamlin and Bell, who should be good there.
Right. I think it could go either way. Honestly, it
depends on where they qualify.
Yeah.
Because he didn't qualify good the last 2 weeks either, has he? Well, he qualified top 10, I think, at Kansas.
Yeah, he did.
He just had to puncture.
Started third at Kansas, 31st at Darlington.
So if he qualifies outside the top 20, 15, he's in trouble. Yeah.
And especially, you look at this, right? These are the guys that I think are in reason for him to get on points. Right?
Those are all guys that are really good at Bristol.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So, trouble for him, I think. So
you got Ryan Blaney. I know, Ryan Blaney is good at Bristol. Kyle Busch
had a
good
lot
at
of
Bristol.
bad luck, but is good there.
Chastain is Chris Buescher, good at Bristol. Christopher Bell, good at Bristol. Joey Logano, good at Bristol. Kevin Harvick, great at Bristol. That's a hard battle. He's going to need one of these guys to have a problem.
Which, knowing the playoffs, is going to happen.
It's going to happen, yeah.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if it's right here. Kyle Busch.
24 ahead, though. He better have it early.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That team seems mistake-prone, honestly. So,
or a late race. They always.
The weird thing about Kyle Busch is that he's either running in the top 10 or he's just outside the top 20, top 25.
Yeah, he's either going to win or finish last.
Mm-hmm.
So, no in between seems like for them. So, Larson and Reddick, of course, locked in. If you're Hamlin, Byron, I'd say these three
are good.
Safe.
Just need a solid race.
Yeah.
How do you say Brad? As long as he gets through the stages at the point, I think he could even suffer a bad finish if he gets decent stage points.
I think all of them could kind of not run well and be okay. Blaney and Kyle Busch, you should make it, but and I may even throw Chastain in here. You should probably make it, but could come into some trouble. That might be the end. But it would have to be Truex having a good race. Because it seems like Bubba is kind of out of range to get to these guys. He'd need to score over 30 points to get to. You need 30 to get to Chastain and over 30 to get to Blaney and Bush, which I think
I
he could
mean,
do.
that could happen if the stages fall your way and it doesn't for the rest of them. And I
Yeah.
can see Kyle Busch struggling at the beginning of the race if he's not up there in the qualifying.
And then this is the range where I think you need to be wary
That's what
of
you
what's
should
going
shoot
on.
for.
Busher to Harvick, and then if you're Truex, Bubba, Stenhouse, McDowell, you're kind of in trouble, or definitely in trouble if you're McDowell and Stenhouse, I think. Because I don't think he really can. I mean, I think Stenhouse and Bubba do have a chance on points, but I think McDowell has to win.
Looks like Chase Elliott might win the best of the rest championship, though. He's
Yeah, how's
almost
that
past
going?
Ty
You got that
He's
right?
right
Sal?
there.
So is Chase leading it right now?
I do. I actually need to update points. Where Jones finished third, right?
Yeah.
I believe right now Jones and Elliott look very good to make it to the next round. Probably a lot. Like I said, I have to update all this stuff. Let me see off of last week. Briscoe didn't do good, right?
I think he had issues.
Who knows?
Harrison.
No.
Burton,
Well, I remember he had the fastest pit stop in NASCAR Cup Series this
He
weekend.
finished
so
19th.
Busted off what, like an 8.8 or some shit like that?
8.4,
8.4,
yeah,
that's
5,
wild.
basically under 8.5. And it was a couple weeks ago that I think another car had done that, and they just beat it. So
Chase, they're in on the owner points right now, which is good. Shout out 9 team.
they're all in on this owners playoffs right now.
They are, dude. They are all in. If he wins the owners championship, I'm gonna be so mad. The owners championship 9 team merch is gonna hit so different. But yeah, so are we thinking the 4 guys out right now are the 4 guys that miss it?
I don't know. I'm not saying shit because my guy's up there, so I'm jinxing myself. I'm not setting myself up for disappointment because his pit crew fucked him last year at Bristol.
I would not be surprised. So you want to talk about a guy above the cut line that could just randomly have a problem? You want to talk about a guy lately who has qualified on the pole back-to-back weeks.
I knew that's where you were going.
And had absolute catastrophes during the races. Christopher Bell is got to be like on point this race.
Yeah, for sure.
That if anybody falls out, I think it's Christopher Bell.
I'd say it's Logano. That's who I would look at as be the guy falling out. Which, by the way, the points that he stole, he'd only be about 2 above the cut line if he didn't do that. So maybe less.
If that caution didn't come out, he'd be only 2 ahead. Harvick would be 9 ahead.
Yeah.
Because Harvick lost points on that deal because of that. Because of Joey flipping it that way.
Yeah. Great call by that 22 team. I look at Ross Chastain. Is he good at Bristol? We don't really know. So we'll see. That's a guy I'd like to watch out for. Maybe, could be a trap race for him and that team. So that's our cut line coverage. Let's hit Sam Mayer re-signing with Junior Motorsports. Big for him. Shout out Sam Mayer. Not surprising. Seems like he might kind of get stuck in that Xfinity Series void here soon.
For a while.
I think he's kind of going down the Brandon Jones path.
A lop-timer.
He might just
be. It's not just Brandon Jones. It's fucking Allgaier as well.
Yeah, it's like the whole team. And Sal, you're hearing stuff about Sammy Smith.
What's happening with the 8, Sal?
Yeah.
Going to the 8.
I did see, again, all rumors, but I did see someone comment that they are hearing Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer obviously already signed with JRM. Then that they may be looking at Sammy Smith as well, which is interesting because
makes sense. They've dealt with Pilot Flying J before. So.
Yeah. Would kind of be a bummer. I feel
when that pass up Carson Quaffle.
Yeah, unless they know something about Allgaier that we don't.
Oh, maybe Allgaier's going to 31.
How old is Carson?
Or 16, whatever.
Quaffle?
Yeah.
I don't know. Young.
He's probably
Because
18, 19.
he might not even be because he might not even be old enough to
Well,
run.
he
on
did
these big
just race
tracks yet.
Kansas.
He raced the trucks, right?
You can be 17.
No, he raced
run
Kansas and ARCA, and then he's racing at Bristol this
I know,
week.
but like Daytona, Talladega, don't you have to be 18?
He's 20.
He's 20. Oh, okay, never mind. That doesn't
He's
even
good
matter.
then.
Yeah.
Damn, he's 20 and they haven't pulled him up yet. They need to
Get on it.
they need to pull that quick.
Yeah,
I don't see no reason why they would leave him
maybe
in
he
late models
replaces
another year.
Kosovar.
In what, a truck?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd waste him in trucks.
I wouldn't put him in the trucks. Yeah, just pull him. You
That's
have a fucking
just a
team
demolition derby. You're just gonna get wrecked, or you're gonna be wrecking somebody in that series because that's what it is. I'd pull him up to Xfinity and be done with it.
Yeah. Speaking about Carson Hocevar, this is.
I think we've seen a lot of drivers like successfully jump the truck series and be fine.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs.
Mhm.
Especially here lately because you have to. It's turned nothing like it used to be a good series.
I mean,
to
Ty
watch.
Gibbs, Josh Berry.
Now it's
Josh
just a wreck
Berry's
fest.
another one who's jumped from late models to the Xfinity series.
A lot older though, a lot more experience with him.
Yeah.
So we talked about Carson Hocevar a little bit. Really seeming like I know we talked about him maybe Colleague, but it seems like it's a sure thing. I think for him to end up in that 77 car for Spire. I don't really think Colleague is where he's going to end up. I think everything's leading towards him being in that 77 in the Cup Series next year. Let's talk about what rides are open right now. You have the 78 and the 51. Who cares? Honestly, I'm sorry.
Isn't Haley taking the 51 or is he taking the 15?
Christ. I think Haley's taking the 15. Or at least those are Bob. I read Bob's article. He said the 51's open. So Bob knows more than we do. The 21 and the 41 are still considered open, but I think Burton. I think
Burton's
announced
and
pretty
I
much
think
locked in.
Priest has already basically said he thinks he's
yeah,
back.
Priest
next
is
year,
in.
so.
Those are not official, but
I read somewhere where Stuart Haas like unofficially gave somebody like the news that they're not selling none of their charters for next year. That they will be a 4-car team
that
too.
also.
So
I read that.
I still think the 10-car is available next year. I just don't think Eric Enrolla is going to come back.
sure
I don't see
who's going.
why would he come back just to probably struggle for another season.
So who's going to the 10? Who would you think would be the 10 then?
If you're Ford and you want to keep a Ford driver, you go after Zane.
Zane.
Yeah.
But
Unless
Stuart
he gets a better
Haas,
offer, but
you know it's going to be Cole Custer, most likely.
I don't think Cole Custer comes back up this week.
Herbst?
No.
It's not Herbst.
I think Herbst.
I think it'll
no.
be Custer before Herbst.
It'd be Custer before him, but I just don't think it'll be Custer either. I don't think Ford would want to let Zane Smith go somewhere else. Ford don't have a lot of options anyway when they have the talent. Zane Smith is their only talent that's coming up the ranks right now. They got to keep his ass. And you do what you got to do. You put him in the 10-car and hope that the bacon stays. Or he pulls funding from somewhere. He pulls funding out of his ass. He may come with funding. Tony Stewart don't get it, but he may come with it. You do what you got to do to run your fucking cars if you're going to own 4 cars.
I'm talking about Zane Smith. He apparently has been talking to Trackhouse, which I find to be pretty interesting. It's been said that they don't have a spot for him in 2024, but they might sign him to a deal and lease him to another team, which I found really interesting that was reported. That must mean those conversations are serious. If that's like that's a serious possibility of Zane Smith signing with Trackhouse and being leased somewhere next year. But if you're Zane Smith, do you really want to take another wait another year before I end up where I really am going to be?
Unless you're in a Cup car learning.
Yeah, but
it ain't worth it if you're going to be stuck in Xfinity.
Where are they?
If they lease them out to anything, they can lease them out to any other manufacturer. That's usually how it works. Or Rick Ware.
Or
at least you're running the car.
78.
Like who's going to be in the 31?
I would take Rick Ware over the 78 car in a heartbeat. We had that discussion already.
Yeah, I really think it's Daniel Hemrick.
I think that's a big L. I'm just going to be honest.
I think Hemrick goes to the 16, and I kind of don't know who the 31 is. They're saying it's a big surprise. I'm not sure. Ty Dillon and Daniel Hemrick have been the 2 names that would potentially replace AJ Allmendinger. So that means that the 31 is somebody.
I wouldn't be surprised if it ain't Carson.
Hocevar?
Yes. He's already driving Chevy.
Yeah. I
That
could
would
see
be,
it.
to me, in my opinion, that's a better pickup than Hemrick and. I'm not even going to let the guy do it.
100%. 100.
SVG? Could that be a?
We already know that he's going to be like part time.
Yeah, I feel like
I think he runs
SVG
a
is
part
committed
time,
to
a third
Trackhouse.
car for Trackhouse. That's the reason why Trackhouse does not have a spot for him.
Right. For Zane.
Because they're putting SVG in for Zane. It's because they're putting him in a car for part time with no charter.
Are they going to keep him in the 97? Because I feel like that defeats the
91?
purpose of Project 97. Or no, 91. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they use the number 97 for him. First of all, because that's his number in supercars, and also that's Kurt Busch's number. So I think they might want to pay some respect to Kurt Busch because he's going to stay with the organization for the foreseeable future. And his
Trackhouse
we're talking about.
Oh,
not
2311.
XL.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm like, wait, what? He used to drive for him for a couple of seasons.
I feel like they should definitely pick up 97 for him though, because if you want to keep the Project 91 going, I think giving it to somebody part time kind of ruins the specialness of it. You know.
Another rumor I saw could be Zane Smith going to JGR Xfinity next year, and then 2311 the year after.
That would be a good move up. It gets him out of the trucks.
Yeah, but I really
like you said earlier. Do they have room to slide in somebody else in a Toyota program? That's got
I
young
don't
drivers
think
in
it
line.
would be smart for Toyota because I think they have two diamonds in the rough that are emerging. You have Corey Heim in the Truck Series, who's been awesome all year, and Jesse Love, who has ran the ARCA Series. And showed signs of being good in the trucks as well. You got William Sawalich also in that development program. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with them. Let's talk about the Xfinity Series playoff picture. This is exciting. We're really in the weeds this week. Let's get the standings up. It's taking forever. We can view playoff standings. Oh, look at this this is awesome. Shout out NASCAR.com because they created an incredible playoff section here that I didn't even know existed. Let's take a look at it. So these are the guys in right now. John Nemechek with a massive advantage. Also Austin Hill up there with him. Allgaier's third, Cole Custer fourth, Sam Mayer fifth, Chandler Smith sixth, Josh Berry seventh, Sheldon Creed on the cut line. And then below it falls Sammy Smith, Jeb Burton, Daniel Hemrick, and Parker Kligerman, who made it in over Riley Herbst at Kansas.
Already got my first four.
Okay. Who are your first four?
Parker Kligerman, Jeb Burton, Sheldon Creed, and Hemrick.
Mine are Sammy Smith, Daniel Hemrick, Parker Kligerman, and Creed.
You got Burton making it?
Oh, I meant Daniel Hemrick makes it. I meant Jeb Burton getting eliminated. Yeah, so I think that actually Sam Mayer I'm not crazy about. So I don't know. Maybe he could fall out.
Yeah, but he's a little rascal. He's a fighter.
Yeah, he'll do something stupid.
He'll wreck a damn cup regular and say, well, at least the Xfinity driver won.
So who do we think the final four is?
I think the top four is a good bet.
I mean, yeah, honestly, Nemechek, Austin Hill, Allgaier,
and Cole.
I don't know, man. Vegas.
Chandler Smith would be a dark horse in all this.
I'm gonna throw Barry in my final four.
I think
Allgaier.
Barry ain't showed speed lately.
He hasn't, but I mean, you can't count him out with having Vegas in the last round
and Martinsville.
Because Vegas and Martinsville are his two best tracks.
So I think Barry makes it to the final four. I think it's Nemechek, Hill, Barry, and Custer. And then, because we're at Miami, right? For them at some point?
Yes. No, isn't that round two?
Yeah, but I'm saying at some point we go to Miami, right?
Yeah.
Cole Custer's going to be on crack. That dude, the last time he ran Miami in the Xfinity Series, he won by like 30 seconds, I think.
He's not winning Miami.
Who's winning Miami?
Wait, never mind. I don't think he's doing that race. Never mind.
What do you mean?
I thought Junior was racing Miami. I think
Junior has not been competitive.
Junior is
racing Miami.
Oh, Cook, don't worry. Oh, Cook, don't worry.
Okay.
Sucking a Dale
see.
Jr. cock.
Junior is racing this week.
Yeah, he is.
Anyway, we'll talk about Junior in a second. Is there any like guy that could sneak in for you guys, like a dark horse that could go on a run
To the
I'd say
Final
mine-
Four, or
Yeah.
Chandler Smith.
I think Chandler Smith is the dark horse, even though he's run good this year, but as the beginning of the year.
He's kind of
Not
fell
lately.
off
Didn't he
recently.
win Vegas?
No, he lost Vegas.
Or what did he
There,
win?
yeah, the last couple laps.
Yeah, he lost to who passed him?
Hill.
Barry, or the Hill.
Hill. Yeah.
Hill.
Where did he win? It was a mile and a half, right?
Richmond. He won one at
Richmond?
Richmond, I think.
Okay. Let's find out. You know more about the Xfinity and stuff than I do, so.
Who else did he win?
Richmond, yeah. Had finished third at Vegas, fourth at Auto Club, so those are good. He started off well, but really mid-season, eesh.
He had a stretch right there where he didn't have good finishes at all.
After Portland, this is a bad
He got
stretch.
second at New Hampshire and then 37th, 20th, 34th. That's
And look here, just the last three.
22,
One
12,
top
32.
10 since New Hampshire.
I still think he's a dark horse.
Yeah. So we look at him. Let's look at Josh Berry, see how he's been doing this year. Kind of underperforming, honestly, but JRM has kind of, I think, taken a step back this year. Let's take a look at Josh Berry. Ran well at Vegas earlier this year, 5th. Also good at Martinsville. Pretty solid, I think, throughout for him. And looks like he's definitely.
There's a little stretch there where he didn't have a good races either.
I mean,
Were
just
they road
14th,
courses?
20, and 17th, yeah.
The road courses,
no.
ain't they?
It was
No,
Chicago.
go down.
Then, oh,
Go down a little bit. Those three. Or Daytona, it was the other one, but the other two
yeah,
road
those
courses.
are 2 road courses in Daytona, and then this stretch isn't great either with Chicago.
I mean,
and
that's a
Atlanta.
road course, another super speedway, and
And he was also
Like in
potentially
New
going to win
Hampshire,
Pocono
Pocono.
there.
Pocono, yeah, he had it won.
He wrecked late. But really, actually, I think kind of an underrated season from Josh Berry. Not the playoff points to show for it. Check out Sheldon Creed a little bit. He's had like the raw speed, but I feel like he's an idiot. Like he
look at that. Wait,
He
go
looks
back
like
up. Look at that. Look at that picture. Look at
Velma.
that.
He looks like Velma,
Bro.
dude.
He don't even look like he's looking at the camera. It looks like he's just looking up into the sky.
Whoa. Okay, Creed.
Second, 8th, 3rd. Damn. 8. Damn. He's been in the top.
Look at those stretch races though where he
Five
didn't finish
races.
top 10.
Yeah.
Starting at the 17th right there. He had what, 5, 6 races?
11, 17, 11, 35, 21, 11, 26, 12.
Yeah, not great there.
But since
But
then, I mean,
the last
8,
4
2,
races
2.
though, yeah.
Wow. Now, granted, road course, Daytona.
So that's our Xfinity look. We got hey y'all. Been looking for a bit now. Just want to say I'm enjoying the stream. Y'all's favorite driver. For me, Chase Elliott. Sal has the same answer. Tegan likes Kevin Harvick down there in the bottom left. And then Wessel.
Matty D over
We don't
here.
know.
It's not.
We don't know who we
Divina.
don't
It's
big
not
Matty
Divina.
D guy. He had
The
another
jersey's a
emotional
hint.
interview.
The number's right. It's Ryan Blaney.
It is. Yeah. Matty D had another emotional interview after getting eliminated.
Poor guy. We were
It
pulling for him there at the end.
We're over it.
Sal
We're
and I
over it.
were actually
We're
rooting
over
for
it.
that to go to dead out during the race.
And Wessels
was
like,
more
we're
so-
over it.
It was more satirical than anything, but it was fun to root for him. He actually, there was a moment where I thought he might have won. He might have won the race. It was like the Schrader lead moment at the dirt track that they
SRX.
went to. Yeah, where he it's like just a second, but he had it. Dale Jr. racing this weekend. How do we think he does? I think he finishes 8th.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's usually like either right inside the top 10 or right out. I mean,
Right outside of it, yeah.
He's gonna win.
He has not shown winning speed since he retired.
He's gonna win.
It's not.
He showed winning speed at Homestead. That
Miami.
one, but
Late race
Well.
caution kind of screwed him over.
he was battling Josh Williams there last year, so that wasn't a great look for Dale. So we'll see. I hope he does. I want Dale to do well. $100.
Dell does where America wins.
$100 that he is the pre-race conversation. from the booth.
Well, I mean, he's an NBC reporter. You
Yeah.
really
yeah.
drew straws for that one.
Can we
there,
get
Mike.
his in
Goddamn.
card to get sponsored by
Ready
the
to retire.
shopdanieldy.com, Cam?
Oh yes, shopdanieldy.com onboard camera with Dale Jr. I love that. What else do we have to cover here? We'll talk about the league race a little bit that we had this week. Wessel gets his third win of the playoffs on fuel mileage.
On literally all fuel mileage, not just this one, all three of them, and taking wins away from his team owner, his future team owner. We'll park his ass next year when he starts doing that shit again. Team orders is about to become a thing in CFRL. We all like it. Y'all all like F1. We about to become an F1 league for sure when team orders start getting barked out.
Wessel, your thoughts? Not proud of it?
Fuel merchant.
Fuel merchant is right. Tegan, your thoughts on the race? What was your perspective?
I had to win. I even at the last, I thought, there's no way this motherfucker has saved enough laps. He's pitted 2 laps after me. I'm doing the math in my head. The motherfucker's not losing time. There's no way he's saving gas. Fool me once. Fool me twice. He fooled me 3 times, this cocksucker. So there won't be a fourth. Bitch, next time I see you saving laps, I'm going to start saving too. I don't care if I go a lap down and lose the fucking race. If I go a lap down, I'll be wrecking your ass doing it.
Oh, man.
I thought I had the win in the bag after 4 fuckers sped on pit road.
What a wild moment.
That was crazy.
All in the same pit stop, by the way.
Pitting at the same time too.
Yeah.
You just hear like 4. Oh shit.
Oh fuck. I don't remember hearing Ryan. I just realized later that Ryan sped too. I'm like, well, motherfucker, I'm the only one that got in the pit road and got out.
I got pretty close because I think I pit a lap or 2 after y'all on that. And I think I went in at like 48, and I thought it got me.
I know Ryan's PlayStation turned into an air fryer, and he wasn't able to finish the race. But the fuel, the speeders actually did kind of have a nice rally back up. I got 3rd, JB 4th. I think Bradley was, where was he, 6th, maybe?
7th. He actually finished behind Incog. He must have had an issue there at the end with his tires or something.
I think him and Incog and Kevron were kind of back there battling for a while.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy I sped because I think I would have been more angry after that race if I had lost like that than if I knew I was gonna lose regardless of what happened. But I was kind of glad I sped it. I spared myself the
heartache and anger.
Yeah, the bad interview. It was a positive interview for me after the race. So yeah, I'll tell you what, I felt that was a good race for me. I was really, really quick around there. I passed Mr. Fuel Mileage about 8 times, so that was fun. Wessel had a great line in his interview. He was like, "Shout out to Mike. I'm not sure how many times that dude passed me, but it was a fucking lot." Which I like. So you all were very nice. Everybody shouted me out in their interviews, which I didn't really think I deserved. I finished 3rd, but thank you. On to Fontana, which has always been a fun track for the league. We'll see what happens. Current 4 in are Tegan and Bradley. They're probably locked in if they show up. And then JV's 15 up or 14 up on the cut line. I'm 9 up. Ryan's 9 behind, and then NSP is a little further behind him. So we'll see how that turns out. We have midweek at Fontana tomorrow. Cut line is very close. Sal and Spencer are tied there for the cut line. So we'll see who makes the final 4 for midweek, which will be the championship race will be next Wednesday, I think, at St. Louis, which will be a fun one. In the truck series. So that will be a good race. We'll see what happens there. I'll be racing it tomorrow, so you can catch it on my YouTube channel streamed. Tegan will race, Wessel will race. So it's going to be a stacked field at Fontana. Let's do picks.
Bristol, I don't know who the fuck to pick. God damn. Yeah. There's so many guys who are good here. It's hard to tell.
It's all about qualifying too. So I know who.
But shout out to you, Wessel. You're gonna have a lot less of a plate, a lot less things on your plate because you're picking last. You won with Reddick, which now makes.
I had Reddick.
Yep. Now
I
makes
didn't know I had
this
Reddit.
clusterfuck.
I didn't know I had Reddit.
There are 4 people at 6, trailing Bradley, who's got 8.
Bro, I've picked all 3 of my winners in pod picks. Won the race. All
Yeah.
3 of them. Stenhouse to 500, SVG at Chicago, Reddit
Mine
at
had 2.
Kansas.
I
All right.
got mine 6.
So I'm gonna get the results up on my phone so I see who picks first.
Oh wait, no, I
think
do
it's
remember
Sal.
picking Reddick now. I think I said the 45 to go back.
I think it's Favo, right?
Yeah.
Sal, you're picking first. Who do you got?
Give me A, B, C, D, F, G. Christopher Bell.
Fuck off. Are you serious?
It was gonna be one of mine.
Yeah, he was
Is that
probably my
real?
pick.
Like, is that real life? You just did that? God damn it. Fuck. I really didn't see that coming. God damn it. I don't even know who picks next now. Fuck.
Is JB really throwing away picks on Alex Bowman last week? What?
Come on. It's a good track for Bowman. Okay.
Wasn't last week.
Maddie would be next, but he's not here. Then there'd be Tegan, I think, with Ty Gibbs. Just gonna make sure. Yes. Yeah, Tegan with Ty Gibbs. Who do you got?
What's after
Oh
Bristol?
wait, I couldn't pick Seabell anyways. I used him at Darlington.
After Bristol is Texas, I think.
Give me Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. Okay. You haven't been big on them all this year, but now you're picking them. I like that.
I've
Next
picked him
up-
literally the last like twice in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, but you've been doubting him all year.
Well, he's good at
Um,
Bristol. Let's see if he gets the track position to go with it.
Yeah.
I
next
still
up
don't think
is
he's a
me.
championship 4 driver.
I think I got a good pick for this. Actually, you know what? I do.
I'm gonna throw it down. Kevin Harvick for me. I think this is the time.
How about
for him.
Denny
I was
Hamlin?
thought about saving him till Phoenix, but worth a shot to go for it now. So the next up would be JB, who I don't have a pick from yet. And then it would be who else?
JB or Bradley?
It would be Bradley. Next, who picks? Let me see. I have it. He sent it to me. Kyle Larson. He picks.
And then JB.
Maybe he's.
Actually, JB ain't got his
he
pick
doesn't- I
in.
don't have his pick yet, so
But you,
never mind. I have his pick. Chris Buescher.
I am going to take his teammate. I think he finally pulls through. Team owner
Love
Brad
that pick.
Keselowski.
I really like that pick. All right, so those are the picks for this week. Let's see who comes out on top. I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a winner in there somewhere, so we'll see.
How many times have we picked the winner this season?
Let's go back and look. After I got
I
rid
know,
of
I
it.
have-
three of mine,
I know
all
I
three
have.
of mine were.
I was about to say all 3 of mine
Okay.
are too.
So Daytona, you picked the winner.
Yep.
Fontana, JB picked the winner.
Yeah.
And then it's Dover with
We're gonna
Truex.
stretch for a while.
Hamlin at
Hamlin
Kansas.
at
Somehow
Kansas.
Ricky Stenhouse won the Coke 600 for somebody. That's crazy.
Stenhouse won
Congratulations.
picks for 2 people this year. Just
Busch,
think about
Busch.
that. That's crazy.
Kyle Busch won St. Louis. SVG Chicago. Truex at Loudon. Denny at Pocono. Chris Buescher at Richmond. Shout out Chase Briscoe for pulling out the win for Bradley at Indy Road Course. And then somebody had
And
Larson
then it's just
at Darlington.
Yeah, Larson,
and then
Darlington, and
Reddick.
then me, Kansas.
And I think this is going to be a stretch where we probably are going to pick a lot of winners.
Because
Just
we
since
got
we have that
our picks
extra use
reset.
of the guy, and it's all everybody's really all in right now.
Yeah.
Which I like
Being
better.
this
picks
close to the
format,
end.
kind of giving it like another chance to just go right at it, and you use the first part of the year for kind of more conservation of your picks, and then on from there you're a little less conservative. But I really think that's going to cover everything for today. Is there anything anybody else would like to talk about before we bounce out of here? All right.
Nope.
Cue the music. We'll be live on the YouTube channel Sunday night for the Cup race, for our League Cup race at Fontana. Broadcasting, I believe, will be, Darth Kylo and Kevron.
Kylo and Kevron again. Let's send
hope-
out a helpful
memo.
message to them and a memo.
Make sure we have
our audio on, boys. Make sure we have our
Yeah.
audio on.
It's like three
Yeah.
different ways of doing it too. You guys should make sure you get all three of them.
That's the goal. Anyway, that'll do it for us this week. Thank you all for coming on. This was a great episode, I think. We'll be back next week to talk a little bit about Bristol and preview the round of 12. So, see y'all next week. That was a really good drop right there.
We're still live.